Hello, hello. We're reading some Attack on Titan. We're really far behind on this, my apologies. Basically, there was a Scanlation group that used to upload onto MangaDex that I would use when they came out. Just because so many Scanlation groups are releasing this, so many of them are like rushing, translating from Korean, uploading watermarked RAWs. I always wanted to just wait until there was like a good quality version of the chapter out. But the group that I was using stopped uploading entirely, I believe. So now I don't know, we're just going to use what's there because I'm so far behind now. You have 3 chapters to read, which is kind of exciting. So please look forward to those today, tomorrow, and the day after. Yeah, things are getting insane in this series. The last one ended with a fleet of Marleyan airships bombing the living hell out of some Titans. I'm guessing to no effect because that would be quite the anticlimax. Meanwhile, pretty much every living protagonist we have left, or protagonist, has allied themselves in a desperate attempt to stop Eren. Eren, of course, brain blasted them into his End of Evangelion realm to say, hey, no point trying to talk me out of this. I'm just going to do it. But you are going to be free to stop me. I'm not going to deny you the freedom to try to stop me. So I'm not restricting your Titan powers. I'm not just like nuking you where you stand. Go ahead. If your convictions are stronger than mine, so be it. I'll accept that. Pretty interesting. Of course, it's also very convenient to have just like a big battle showdown as the climax of the series. And we are indeed moving towards the climax of the series. They've announced that it's going to end in April. So we've only got like 3 or so more chapters after the ones we're reading now. Heading into the end game of this long, long series, it's been quite the journey. Here we see, it looks like Historia giving birth. Remember that? She's pregnant. That was a whole thing. Here's her baby. She's back on Paradise. I don't know what the people back here know of the happenings in the world. If they know the world is being stomped flat by a gigantic horde of Titans. These skins are really good so far. I think this is probably the team that we ought to be using. Little Miss and Good Sir. For some reason, I thought they were one of the rushed, low-quality ones, but this has been really good so far. Really nice shots here of people the world over panicking and fleeing. This is the country that their pilot... I'm not going to try to remember his name because it's going to sound offensive if I try to guess. But it looks like these are his people, I would assume, and they're from like an England-styled country with a Big Ben-looking thing and a Tower Bridge-looking thing. Here we see, of course, like a Shinto temple. That must be where Mikasa's people are from. And, of course, the woman who's taking Annie and the kids on the boat, who in the last chapter was like, yeah, I don't care if I die. You can transform on the boat. So, though Annie and the kids are going to get involved too. The top one, I'm not sure. Is this Marley? Is this the Marleyan masses fleeing? But it's kind of interesting because it's not like all of these countries are being attacked right now. Eren is being very deliberate with where he sends the Titan army to squash out this or that. Oh, okay, never mind. This is really an image and a half right here, isn't it? With the Torii Gate, the thatched roof cottages, and I think most telling of all, just that red, perfectly circular sun. Well, the sun is always perfectly circular, but you know what I mean. Like it emphasizes the Japan flag-ness of it all. And then this very strange hyper close-up of one of the wall titans. We haven't seen any sort of emotion at all from any of the wall titans. Not like the kind of dumb glee of the titans before, the brainless titans, or the wide range of personality, of course, we've seen from the transformed titans. But the wall titans seem totally robotic, just totally golems acting on Eren's wishes with no sense of individuality or personality. So this close-up on an eye, which we hadn't really seen before, looking down, looking at what it's squishing, which I thought maybe they were totally disinterested. But if you want to read into the series with any sort of allegorical viewpoint, thinking of the series as a grand allegory for any number of things. This page is ripe for interpretation. Just the symbolism of it, the fact that they're choosing this moment of all times to show the eye of the Titan, the fact, of course, that it's a Japan-inspired country, people doing very Japanese-style praying in the last moment, this kid hauling off his grandfather, it looks like. Yeah, this has it all. A really compelling, stirring image, but I don't know to what end, if any. Oh my gosh. The squishing, the flattening. Interesting here that the three peoples that we saw on that previous spread are now inverted in ordering here. It's kind of, I don't know what that means, but really graphic, really gory, really intense. Just these elephantine feet mercilessly squishing. So I'm a little confused though still. As I said, I thought Eren had, like, we're gonna go stomp all the airships so that nobody can mess with me, nobody can escape. And we know he's doing that. Like, we saw the airfield attacking the Titans attacking the airfield at the end of the last chapter. So who are all these other Titans? Are there really that many Titans that he's carrying out simultaneous attacks in all these different countries, which I would imagine, based on their inspirations, are kind of scattered about the world? I don't know. But it's, oh man, like lemmings at the cliff, pushed off from overpopulation. Jeez. You know, I can't fault the author at all for giving us this level of rumbling porn, I guess you could say, given just how much the possibility of this happening was like hyped up throughout the series, going all the way back to the revelation that there was that many Titans in the wall, which is like way back in the first Annie arc. It was like, wow, yeah, imagine all those Titans busting out at once. That would be crazy. So now that it's happening, I'm satisfied that they're really, really showing it happening again and again and again from all these different angles, always emphasizing just the hugeness, the multitudes. There's a baby, and the baby is falling. Everybody's falling, passing the baby. Jeez. Like, they're laying it on hella thick. Don't get me wrong. But this is what they've earned. This is the point. This is the reciprocation of teasing it for so long, of delaying it so many times, of having it scaled up in the plot as this gigantic threat, this apocalyptic threat. Because you would put in all that work to center the story around it, that's why you're allowed to do these sorts of things. Interesting here, more than many other shots, it really does show that there is some variation in the Wall Titans. Some of them are bigger, skinnier, fatter, strange. Unclear what that means. So here is the train full of Eldians. The train driver was taken hostage by a Marleyan who wants to escape. They went to this airbase, but all of the Zeppelins have taken off, using all of them to attack this Titan force, which now we know is like an insignificant small portion of the entire attacking forces. They're betting the fate of humanity on this one strike. But to be fair, this is the one that has the founding Titan in it, that has Eren in it. So presumably, if you do manage to take down Eren, all of the Titans everywhere will just stop. Which would be weird too, right? Imagine they just stop and life like continues as normal, but there's just like this army of Titans on the horizon at all times. And it's like, well, I hope they don't start walking again. Like, do you eventually start like sawing through their legs and knocking them down and like hauling them off, dumping them in the ocean? I think that could be kind of a cool series in itself. Instead of the big mysterious wall, ditch the wall. Now we just have the Titans. What do we do with that? How do we feel about that? Okay. This place is the last remaining stronghold left for humanity. The weight on your shoulders is unimaginable. No matter the outcome, it will not be your responsibility alone. We are all responsible. Every single grown man and woman. Okay. I think these are kind of like recognized characters if you're an expert of the series, which admittedly I'm not. They look familiar, right? I think these are Eldian ghetto dwellers that we had encountered before and stuff. I don't know, maybe it's Annie's father. I don't remember what Annie's father looks like, but even if they're not, even if I'm totally wrong there's a sense of like these people could be familiar to us as they're hearing this message from the Marleyans, which is, pretty insensitive. To say, hey, we're all united now. Yeah, we subjugated you and tried to kill you and called you devils, but let's save the world. Blamed all our problems and inadequacies on the devils of the island, and as a result, that monster was born. It came to return all the hatred we poured onto them for centuries. Like, this is true. This is all very self-aware and true. But, like, a little too little too late, as they say. A cool shot of the Founding Titan here. We can really kind of see the features of Eren's face, and also kind of Ymir's face. And then also just kind of qualities that are very unique to it, even among other Titans. I guess the attack Titan that Eren transforms into also has kind of pointy ears. Does it? Am I crazy? I'm not sure. I said that and I was like, wait, does it? Somehow there is a future for us. I swear right here and now not to repeat that mistake. If we live to see tomorrow. Oh, thinking about babies and pregnancies. Oh, is this Reiner's mom? Maybe this is Reiner's mom. Yeah. Yeah, this is Reiner's mom. Jeez. It's like these themes are so well established. Cycles of violence, cycles of revenge, passing down your hatred from generation to generation. That within a page total, within like these 8 panels, of course, especially because Reiner is so established as a character as well, they're able to hit us with yet another iteration of this pattern, such that it feels like the series is just super saturated with it, that even nameless background characters you feel like have suffered at the hands of cyclical violence and revenge. That this seems to be a curse upon the entire world and all who live in it. I never treated him like a mother. I want you all to vow to put the era of hatred behind us. Let's build a world where we treat one another with kindness. Okay, the attack begins. The Zeppelins are above the target. And bid farewell to the monster here and now. So I think that little speech was partially, hey, if this works, let's not do that again, huh? Let's let bygones be bygones. Let's, and saying like, hey, even if you hate us, even if you end up in the upper hand in this position, you Eldians, don't you see that after hundreds of generations, we're going to strike back? Which is essentially the original story. I mean, I don't know how true that is, of the original Kingdom of Eldia subjugating Marley and stuff, and then Marley striking back. Basically saying, let's not do it a third time. But I think also, maybe even more realistically, it's like, oh, I don't think this is going to work. I think we're just going to get washed. The Titans are going to trample all over us. But I wanted to try to make peace with myself and my regrets. Like, I think that's what Reiner's mother was doing. Here, the Eren Founding Titan looking up. Able to see the bombs falling. But to what end? To what good will these do? Salt Titan is moving. Start the attack. Still too high up. The enemy won't wait for that. Okay. The shot of it, like, doinking off of the Wall Titan's head is kind of funny. Okay, it looks like it's having some effect. It's interesting to see the Founding Titan being interacted with, like, physically like this, you know? It seemed like such a... like, the symbolism of its pose, and... which, you know, I don't know if I've really talked about, but it looks like a puppet, right? which is kind of interesting. Like, who is pulling the strings? I don't know. Anyways, it always had this sort of like almost spiritual level to it, that its powers, go well beyond its like kind of dinky, fragile looking frame would allow. So given that it has this sort of supernatural aura to it, that we're afraid of it on a supernatural level, like how is it kind of moving, how is it floating like that, where is Eren physically within it, it's kind of funny just to see it get bombed. And it kind of seems like it's working. It kind of seems like Eren is pissed off. Like, stop that. That hurts. Predicted many of them are missing the target. Don't stop. Everything depends on this attack. Okay, so now we're going to see what the Founding Titan can actually do. It's manifesting through some weird fleshy lightning. It looks like another Titan on its bones here. Ah, okay, so it can just kind of form any of the other Titans. So here it is manifesting the Beast Titan with its famous throwing ability. Beast Titan just hunks a big chunk of something and shreds, absolutely shreds the Zeppelins. I guess they did not anticipate this kind of ranged attack because, yeah, Zeppelins aren't very durable, and carrying a bunch of explosives on them is only going to make the problem worse. They blow up. Everyone is horrified. This has, it's like, dang man, Beast Titan still out here doing this. It has the same sort of energy as when it completely annihilated the advancing army, the decoy army, during the crazy, they're surrounded, and Levi does the jumping around the perimeter, killing everybody thing. Remember that? That feels like so long ago now. Things were so much simpler back then. But the Beast Titans still out here knocking stuff out of the sky. Alright, and that's, that's that. This is a really cool shot. Again, just like the hugeness of perspective and stuff. Just the way the Zeppelins are drawn, exploding out of the sky too. Really impressive. This is the sort of scene that I'm like, maybe I should watch the anime. Maybe I should at least watch clips of the anime, because I'd be really curious to see how well they can do these explosions and stuff. The Zeppelin unit was annihilated. Forgive us. You children are completely innocent. Yeah. So, they're gonna lay it on as thick as possible. This is the big finale. No need to hold back now. If you want to see babies crying, if you want to see this and everything. Yeah, that's Annie's dad. Yeah, that's right. I kind of thought so, but I didn't want to say, oh, it's Annie's dad, and then sound like an idiot. Sure, both Annie and Reiner are alive and well on Paradise Island. They won't die before their parents. Yes, they're alive, I'm sure of it, and that's enough for me. Okay. Alright. We continue our universal rumbling. What's that? Ah, the plane emerges? The flying boat? A flying boat. Okay. The showdown is coming. I didn't know if we would get more rumbling porn. But I guess in terms of the timeline, it only makes sense that they're able to get there in time. That was the whole idea. We can arrive before the rumbling makes it to the airbase. Okay. Onyan Kopon. I knew it was something like that. I was going to say something like that, but I knew if I got it wrong, but I still said something like that, it would sound bad. Maneuver the aircraft so it's right above the Founding Titan. Try to do an emergency landing after that, so you'll get off right where the Founding Titan is. Okay. Is Eren throwing stuff at them too? Yeah, okay, alright. I really hate this fucking Beast Titan. True! God damn. Yeah, no, exactly. Now it's time for Levi's like fifth iteration of revenge against the Beast Titan. Saves us some time looking for him. Target of the attack is the Beast Titan. Every ounce of power you have to destroy him. We'll stop the rumbling. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, very straightforward. Now they're jumping out. So one idea was, well, we don't really know where Aaron's physical body is, so it's going to be tough to go talk to him. And then, what's her face there? Pietch, the cart titan, made a very pointed jab at Armin, was like, well, you don't seem to really care about indiscriminate destruction. Just like at the port of Marley, you can just turn into the Colossal Titan and wipe everything out. So I don't know if they're going to try to go with that. Use the big blast from Armin turning into the Colossal Titan to try to make some sort of impact. The Colossal Titan isn't as big as the... Well, Colossal Titan looked up over the wall, so I guess it's bigger? But then the Wall Titans were kind of like compressed in there. They weren't fully upright. They were like kind of squatting? Is that right? I don't know. It's certainly not bigger than the Founding Titan, but maybe still big enough to damage the Founding Titan? It's just because Armin is jumping out first that I'm curious if they have some sort of maneuver like that. But they're all jumping out, dodging these bullets. Reiner Titan defies. His mother, seeing the armored Titan appear, knowing that that is her son in there, slamming into the Beast Titan, breaking it off of its weird umbilical bone lightning cord thing. Unsure if that will like take it offline. Did Eren just kind of make like a new living thing, or was that just a weird extension of his body? The cart Titan showing up with a ton of dynamite. The enemy's forces from Paradise Island. They've come to stop the rumbling. Okay, everybody cheers. Eren, I'm going to ask you that unpleasant question again. What about you is free exactly? Right after we drag you out of there. Okay, cool little ending shot. Everybody, cool poses and stuff. But yeah, I think this is going to be ultimately the message, is that Eren is doing this in a way to kind of declare his freedom, to manifest his freedom, which has been his thing from the start, is that he wants to be free. He hated the idea of the society that they lived in. The more he learned about it, the more it seemed like he was unfree. It reminds me of a webcomic that I don't think I'm going to be able to find, because I think I looked for it before for a similar reason and I couldn't find it, where basically this guy keeps tearing down fake facades, and then he knocks over like a city building, and then it's like nature, but then he knocks over the facade of nature, and then he's just in the air and he's falling, but then he sees that he's still like shackled to something. And the whole time he's going on this monologue of basically, if you spend all of your effort and your time trying to secure your freedom, which you never can, wouldn't you actually just be more free if you accepted your original condition and just sort of did whatever you want within that limitation? It was worded much more eloquently, but basically like this never-ending quest for freedom is actually the most debilitating thing to your ability to do whatever you want. And I think that's sort of what's happening with Eren here. And in the end, as I said, like it's this big puppet. He's expressing himself in his individuality and his ability to do whatever he wants, like less than ever before. He's just mindlessly marching forward with this wall of titans. I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see how they can handle this. They're going to fight until the very last moment. We are going to read manga until the very last moment. Bye-bye for now. See you tomorrow for the next chapter.